So the purpose of pain is to show that the confrontation with untruth, the confrontation with pain, the confrontation with loss, the confrontation with lovelessness, the confrontation with separation, the confrontation with restriction, that there is a larger, a bigger purpose to it, and it eludes us sometimes because we get so wrapped up in the emotional experience of it, or in the interpretation of what this means, this and that. Yeah, the whys and the causality. But I want you to move beyond this and enjoy these energies that are coming in here in this next week as something that will show you that certain things in life have to happen for you to grow, for you to become able to move past things. And why is that? Well, you guys all know the answer. A warm welcome to all of you for our energy update live here on Skype. My name is Jona Bryndis. I'm an energy healer, visionary, and energy trainer. And once a week on Fridays, we look into the energies that are surrounding us. Many of you are energetically sensitives, empaths, highly sensitive people. And the reason why we do this, and this is a long tradition here at transCODES, is to help you understand that it's not you, that or not just you, that there's nothing wrong with you, and that you can actually feel the connection with other people who are also sensitive and who are picking up on things before they're basically manifesting here. So many of us energetically sensitives actually don't know that we are energetically sensitive. And the way we contextualize this is that, we are, different than others, or that we are wrong. And this is the part here that I really want to emphasize with these energy updates, and also the energy talks and all these wonderful things that we do, the daily sacred self meditations and so forth. And I see where you guys are coming from. Wonderful. Keep posting where you're joining us from. I see Ohio, I see Seattle, I see Colorado, I see Denmark. Yes, this is one of the cool things. We've built this international community here, and especially in the last 2 years, this was extremely illuminating to see and hear voices from other parts of the globe, and to kind of align our experiences with this. So this energy update here for week 7, called The Purpose of Pain. Yeah, that's a big one. That's for the 12th till the 18th of February. And no worries, guys. This is actually one of the coolest weeks that I looked into here. So during the energetic tune-up session, which I do once a month, I've already announced this to the participants that to the middle of the month, we're going to have like really, really beautiful, really strong energies coming in that are supportive, that finally make us feel like things are moving forward. We can make things happen. So it was a bit of a grind here for all of us, especially physically. Many of you guys have been feeling kind of sickish on and off, questioning yourself, maybe even being a little bit afraid that something is wrong with you. Obviously, we all need to take good care of our health. You've heard me say this over and over again, like a broken record. You have to step into your health authority. That's really, really important, not just because of the COVID experience that we've all had, but also for the years to come. This is a big subject here in these next 5 years, healing and self-healing, and especially nutrition and food. But while the food industry or the health industry, say in the past, has been emphasizing things such as looks and performance, you will notice a shift here in these next years. Yeah, this was all brought about by this COVID experience, namely that whether or not you believe that you can trust in the government or in doctors or whatever is secondary here. The main point that we could all take from all of this is that when it comes down to when the rubber meets the road, right? When it comes down to how we want to feel, how we want to enjoy our life, how we want to connect with other people, there is a part of that only we can do, and that is to take good care of our own body and the energy that comes with this. And I want to point out that energy, the way I break this down for all of you in a rather systematic way, and I keep on saying it's not mystical, all right? So while I'm doing that, I do want to point out the other side of that. I am basically doing this awareness work for people here, that you no longer question yourself and instead maybe question your perception, not who you are, not what you're feeling or sensing or perceiving, but or how you interpret, how you contextualize what you're seeing, what you're perceiving. Yeah. That said, this doesn't mean that there isn't a mystical part to our perception. There is a spiritual aspect to this, and that's where things such as New Age and esotericism and religion often kind of overlap or get mixed up. So I want you to understand that just because I chose the word energy, I'm not really referring to just the secular aspect of that or the physical aspect of frequencies. There is a spiritual aspect to that, and that's why I suggest to people to look at themselves in this fivefold way. You look at yourself as a spiritual being, as well as a physical being, an emotional being, an intellectual being, and an energetic being, all right? And once you start pulling this apart a little bit and seeing this as different aspects, different puzzle pieces of yourself, and you put it back together, you can see the bigger picture. And this is kind of like how these energies here in this next week will unfold. So the purpose of pain, guys, is I picked this again here with an intention, and that is to show something. To show that the confrontation with untruth, the confrontation with pain, the confrontation with loss, the confrontation with, lovelessness, the confrontation with separation, the confrontation with restriction, that there is a bigger purpose to it, and it eludes us sometimes because we get so wrapped up in the emotional experience of it, or in the interpretation of what this means, this and this and that, the whys and the causality. But I want you to move beyond this and enjoy these energies that are coming in here in this next week as something that will show you that certain things in life have to happen for you to grow, for you to become able to move past things. And why is that? Well, you guys all know the answer. Because we have an ego. And what is the problem with our ego? The ego is not actually the enemy. The ego is our fail-safe, okay? That's the part in us that's supposed to provide us with the say instinctual survival. Is supposed to keep us alive psychically, because having a consciousness and understanding that we are mortal, that we're going to die one day, is not an easy task for us humans to deal with. And so we need something in us that's holding us together, and it's the ego that does that for us, okay? It keeps us in, only caring for my comfort right now. It makes sure that I don't engage in things that are too risky or that are too far out or that are not really in alignment with what our outer conditions or what the people around us do, because it creates too much resistance. So our ego is really there for us to recognize resistance. And then we have the consciousness, and these are not the same things, that allows us to observe, to witness all of this. So we can observe our own ego acting in certain ways. And the primary directive of our ego is to resist pain, to avoid pain, and to seek pleasure, right? We all know this. This is your ego. This is okay. Do not feel guilty for having an ego. Do not feel guilty for having physical drives, emotional drives, and even sort of mental limitations. You can only see things the way you can see them. All right. So you have this other tool in you, which we call consciousness, and that allows you to look beyond. However, we need to learn, and this is part of our growth, of our maturity, to align all this with another. What does it help me to see the future, in a bright light, and to recognize that, one day we're all going to hold hands and sing Kumbaya together. If I cannot apply this to my physical life right now, if I engage in activities that are, say, maybe too risky, or that prevent me from forming a solid foundation so that I can feel safe in my own environment. You see, this would be something like a misalignment. And pain plays a major role in that. Pain is an indicator as to when we are running into a resistance. Pleasure or comfort is an indicator for when we reach a point where, we feel like we don't have to do anything. Pleasure is not an indicator for growth. Neither is pain. Those are both signals seen from a very instinctual point of view. For us as the most fundamental roadmap through our life. So if we don't train our consciousness, we'll be able to survive. If you avoid pain and seek pleasure, you'll be able to survive. But it will not lead you to happiness. Not, in this like black and white way, but the ego is not designed to lead you to happiness. Do you understand that? So if we are looking for higher goals, for higher values, for more fulfilling things in life, we cannot really go by our ego's directive. That said, we don't have to fight against it either. We just have to understand it better. All right? So if you follow your ego's directive, and try to avoid pain under all circumstances, and seek pleasure as your main directive, it is not a guarantee that you will experience your life as more fulfilling or more loving, or that you can manifest things such as more truth or more freedom in your life. So this is basically the part here, the switch in the brain, the clarity that we need, to recognize why it is so hard for us sometimes to manifest the things that we want in life. And you've heard me talk about conscious manifestation here over the past, 4 or 6 weeks. And we're coming to this place now where the fruits of our labor, of our laboring, the fruits of our pain, the purpose of our pain, of this prolonged grind, through something that really forced us to look within, and that, helped us to understand our own values better. How that is now going to show. This next, period of 4 to 8 weeks, all the way into March, is helping us to see what it is that we truly want, to manifest, that we consciously want to manifest. And it also shows us, and this is where the spiritual aspect, the fated aspect comes in, how we have been following this all along. And how all the pain that we have been experiencing was really coming from our ego, questioning if what it is that we want to go for, that was coming forward from deep within ourselves, as a feeling, as something that we could not see through with our mind, not even with our emotions, and perhaps also not with our finances, like with the resources, that we couldn't see this through, but we knew it was the right thing for us. This is now coming into clear vision for all of us, guys. And it's beautiful how this coincides with Valentine's Day, how it coincides with the full moon that we have in the middle of the week, next week, because it will be amplified. And I want to remind you that Valentine's Day is not just about romantic relationships. It's not just about the love between two people. It's the time where we express our affection, our connection, our love for others. As a mother of a child, I go through this, like writing these little valentines for my son's friends, and putting candy with it, or maybe a little gift. This is about community. This is about showing each other that we appreciate another. So all of this heavy grind work that we had to go through here in these last 1.5, 2 years is now really showing us how it all fits together. And I want you to understand that this spiritual aspect of energies is relevant, because that is the part that can keep you going, that can carry you through the grind, that can carry you through your pain. Some of it is physical pain, some of it is emotional pain, some of it is intellectual pain, where we can't really put 2 and 2 together, where things don't make sense. And some of it is a spiritual pain sometimes, where you have or experience a crisis in faith. And when these energies all align, and this is the beautiful part about this next week, there is this conjunction. It all goes into coherence. We can see that what it was that we have been aiming for, what it was that we have been, that we hoped to be able to believe in, that we used to carry us through. The grace of, pain, really, that is now coming into manifestation. And I want to make bring in another aspect here. This has to do with masculine and feminine energies, and there's obviously a lot of talk needed about this. This. I have been doing workshops helping people to balance inner masculine and feminine energies for 10 years now. And we have a healing session that allows people to tune into this and really connect with the feminine and the masculine within. And obviously, as males and females, whatever gender, we are assigning ourselves to, we all have a primary source of power. And on this energetic level, there is no gender, really. There is an alignment to a primary source of power. And that's something that we all need to find. Whatever it is that is your primary source of power is what needs to be uncovered, is what needs to be realigned with. And if you're confused right now, hang on there for a moment. It's still about balancing both. So from an pure energetic point of view, it's about bringing both together, bringing both in harmony with another, just like how we need to bring our left and right hemispheres, our giving and receiving, our doing and being into harmony with another. But there is an element of our personal source, all right? And the way this looks like with people is that typically, and I have to use these gender terms, males tend to find their primary source of energy in something like a 60-40 ratio toward masculine energies. And females find their primary source of power by a ratio of 60-42 feminine energies. And this has to do with the setup, with the karmic aspect really that we came into this world, which also puts a different light on the whole gender discussion, because if we came in as a, like say biologically identified female or male, the gender understanding in society has nothing to do with the karmic experience. All right. So we confuse this sometimes. And I don't want you to feel disrespected here, because this is a bit of a controversy in our society right now. It's not going there. This has nothing to do with, how you want to call yourself or what your preferences are. This has something to do with what's the purpose of this? What is the purpose even of me questioning things such as masculine and feminine energies? Yeah. So go a step deeper with this if you want to have a better understanding of also why this is coming up in our society right now. This is about us understanding our own karma better, because once we can step into that and realize, okay, I may not agree with the experience I have here. Like, I didn't agree with having a feminine or female experience for the longest time. And it took me almost 30 years of my life to come into alignment with this. And this isn't, because of my relationships or anything. This is because of how I felt from within. Okay. I resisted the experience as a woman, but I had to learn to separate the societal aspect of that and the relationship aspect of that from the energetic or spiritual aspect of that. Yeah. So I would love to hear your guys' opinions about this, and maybe go a little deeper into this in the next workshop that we have here at the Sacred Self-Healing Community, or even an energy talk. Please comment in the comment section here and let me know how you experience this, how you feel about masculine and feminine energies in regards to gender and this way of looking at things that I suggested to you here, namely in a broader perspective. The next week has only something to do with masculine and feminine energies in regards to our manifestation process, because when we want to consciously manifest something, it doesn't matter what it is really, health, wealth, love, freedom, truth, whatever it is that you want to step into more abundance and more value in your life, you're gonna have to understand that there is this masculine, feminine, this giving and receiving aspect to it. Okay, and we can only really step into our full manifestation power if we understand our own energies in this way. Yeah, so masculine energies have a very directed, a very purpose, goal-oriented way of approaching the manifestation, and feminine energies are a bit more focus to the nurturing aspect of manifestation, like how can I make it grow step by step? How can I, make sure that in the process, everybody, like say who is involved in this, can also have enough space. So the feminine energy in us is the one that creates the vision and that creates the space and that holds it together. And this is also why we often feel the need for more connection with feminine energies, because it also connects us with the spiritual aspect of our manifestation process. Versus the masculine energy is more action-oriented, goal-oriented, and often also oriented toward what's in it for me. How can this bring me, further? How can this advance me? And there is the harmonization that we need to look at here. This is basically the deeper energetic aspect of this week, is to look at how can we bring these two things together. It's not just about me. Of course, you all know this, but it's also okay if it's about me. Okay. Both need to be in there. Of course it's about the greater good, but it's not just about the greater good. If I lose myself, my own value, my own needs, my own wants, in the greater good, then I cannot really step into my power. If I lose myself in only what is good for me and what is sensual and what is comforting and what brings me pleasure, then I can get lost in that as well. Yeah, and so we have to keep an eye on the balance of the two, and that will be basically the deeper light bulb, the bigger light bulb here for you in this next week. For many of us, yeah, because of how the times these last 2 years were, we have lost ourselves in the me. Okay, we've gotten too far into the physical survival aspect of things and forgot about, the purpose of all of that. What this is actually helping us see. Yeah, what is the confrontation with untruth helping me see or helping me to develop? It's helping me to develop better discernment. It's showing me, in this visceral and internalized way, what truth is for me. What is the purpose of pain? Pain is showing me in this visceral and internalized way what is not good for me. What is the purpose of restriction? It's showing me in this, how we experience the visceral and internalized way, what I truly want, and that, I cannot really thrive. Yeah, I cannot really step into abundance if I have to live in restriction. It's showing me the true value of freedom. It's showing me what I truly want. And the same with love. What is the separation and the disconnection, the confrontation with that showing me? It's showing me in this visceral and internalized way how important it is for me to connect with myself and to connect with others. This is the purpose of pain. And therefore, we can conclude that the purpose of pain is growth. That is how we grow. And as much as our ego hates it and kicks and screams and doesn't want it, this is the way for us into more truth, more freedom, and more love. Now that said, as a disclaimer here, this does not mean that you have to suck up pain. No. Freedom, love, and truth also need to be balanced with another. The masculine, the feminine, and the child. The giving and the receiving, and my own authority. The holy trinity of it all needs to be harmonized, which means you need to learn how to say no. You need to learn how to stand up for your values. You need to learn how to discern your truth, without wanting to make others wrong or judging them for their views, without trying to convince them. You need to know how to step into your own freedom without restricting others. And you need to know how to learn to love, without becoming too needy or too clingy. That is our growth journey here as humans, guys. And when you get this, then you really open up abundance for yourself. So this is the deeper meaning of this next week here, week 7, and I want to invite all of you to join our Connect with Your True Self free energy healing and training session on the 17th, right after the full moon. If you're in my email list, you're going to get the invitation for this. If you already signed up for it, no worries, you're going to get the instructions, and there's going to be a RSVP, a registration link for all of you on my website at transCODES.com. So a very, very beautiful week that we can look into, but don't be fooled. Your ego is going to resist some aspects of this. So stepping into more truth, stepping into more freedom, stepping into more love also means to confront yourself with your ego pain. All right, and my tip, as always, is take a moment to focus on your breathing, focus on loving attention, all right, and then maybe tune into this bigger purpose of life, yeah, your purpose of life and what you came here for, and what makes you you, and what the true value of you is, and what you can contribute to this world, yeah, to this collective in your own unique way. Yeah, we all have the right to be here, and we all have something to contribute without losing ourselves, without becoming a doormat. Okay, so that is the energy of this next week, and I hope that you will be able to enjoy this. Please comment here on YouTube and also here on Skype, if you will, what this whole gender discussion, the deeper aspects of that, what that means to you. I want to close now and wish you a wonderful weekend, and hope to see you on the 17th for the free Connect with Your True Self. Bye bye, everyone.